But Daniel, do you know what I get? You know, people talk about, what about this? What about the people around you? It's almost as if it's shaming him into doing something. It's got to be more than that, because it's not just alcohol with Kenny. We've sat before. You know, gambling is in there as much as anything else. And he's not alone on this. I mean, this is relatively common in sport, not just football. What is the approach to him? How will the penny drop? I know people say he's got to want to do it. But if this has a grip of him in a way that he doesn't understand why it has a grip of him, it's easy for all of us to lecture because, you know...
I could only tell my experience. My experience was the 6th rehab. I thought every rehab I went to, I thought there was another way. I thought I could do something a bit different. I had to go in and just shut up and listen and do what I was told. And and the one thing that got me through it was faith that if I did that, everything may be all right one day.
But isn't the truth really, Kenny, that you actually like drinking?
Yeah.
Isn't that the God's honest truth, really?
Yeah, I like drinking,
Yeah, but every alcoholic does.
Yeah. So how do you get to what's making you drink? You know, there's obviously a reason that even having rehab, you said yourself you had 6 rehabs before you stopped. How do you get to find out why you're drinking and why the thought of your family, children, work still doesn't stop you? Because I think, Kenny, when you said, you know, a lot of people go, well, even the thought of your children and grandchildren, because we don't understand the addiction, even that, as much as you love them, the drink wins.
Yeah.
How do you stop that?
Yep.
You just have to put one foot in front of another, try again, try and listen, and just keep going. You have to keep going. And the reality is, most alcoholics and addicts, you know, it doesn't just work the first time, or the second time, or the third time. You know, for the lucky few, they'll walk into a 12-step, an AA meeting or a rehab and never drink again, but they are so minimal. You know, for most of us, we have to keep going.
But Daniel, let me ask you, is it worth keeping going for? I mean, now that you've got out the other side, is every hour a battle? Is every day a battle for you? No?
I miss it. I would love to have a glass of wine. I'd love to be able to place a bet. I'd love to be able to do all those things, but I've got a beautiful family. I've got a good life. You know, I wouldn't risk any of it now.
And has it been worth the battle for you? You know, you've got all those things, but do you want all those things? Are you enjoying all those things?
Yeah, I mean, I had 5 years. I mean, I'm near to 10 years now, but I had 5 years of pain, you know, when I got sober. And it's only in the last sort of 5 years, 6 years, where things have actually changed. And
Kenny, if you could wave a magic wand and you could get rid of this alcohol addiction, do you know what you'd like in your life? If you could see the happy Kenny Sansom, who would he be?
I'd love to see him. I don't see him every day. I see the miserable git, and I try and make people laugh, and I think I'm being funny, and I'm trying to make myself feel good and make people feel I'm a nice person. But this addiction is just... My gambling one is just... It's massive. It's just... You know, I don't know what... I have loads of things in my mind. I'd love to tell all the people in the world I'd love to help kids training. I'd love to do football. I'd love to do something. But at the end of the day, all I do is get drunk.
What are you going to do when you leave here today? When you walk out of this studio today and the cameras stop and whatever, we all say that was very sad, very awful, what's happening to Kenny Sansom.
I'll go and have a drink. That's the truth.
And will you just keep drinking till tonight, later, tomorrow?
Yeah, I can't answer that one.
Right, Daniel, what has he got to do? That's what he plans to do. What's he got to do today?
Well, I mean, you know, it's up to Kenny. It's really, he has to... You have to want to give it a try, you know, and if he's not, then he's not. You know, my suggestion is give it another try. You never know. Have a bit of faith that you can do it.
I've done too much fibbing. Because all I'm saying, if I said to you I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee, I'll be fibbing, wouldn't I?
But if you're telling the truth now,
yeah.
You're telling the truth about fibbing. Yeah. That's a step forward.
But listening to Daniel, knowing that he's been where you were, I mean, it's easy, you know, Eamonn said, it's easy for us to say, oh, don't do that. But for Daniel to say, I've done 6 rehabs and I'm now in a really good place in my life and you can kick it, would talking to Daniel more maybe convince you that you could be like that? And
I just can't answer that question. I really don't know.
Well, look, there's a lot of people out there identifying with what we're saying. We can't profess to cure Kenny at all with this today, but there is help for him. There may be help for you. It might be able to turn your life around today. That's the phone in. Do you feel as if addiction is taking over your life? Maybe you can't get through the day without the drink that Kenny's talking about, or your drug of choice, or gambling, or whatever it has to be.
Yeah, maybe, excuse me, you're worried about a friend or a family member and you don't know how to help them. Daniel's going to be staying on with us today to take your calls. Lots of advice there. Calls are free from all consumer landlines and mobile. Phone-in lines are open until 12:30. The terms and conditions, itv.com/terms. You can also email, of course, this morning at itv.com. And we need those by 11:15 today to get them on air, please. And you must be 18 or over.
Kenny, what can I say? What can I say? We've talked before. We'll talk again. But look after yourself, whatever you do anyway.
Thanks.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.